CJ Perry is no longer all elite, but it looks like she wants to go back to being all entertainment as she claims WWE is in her heart and soul. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And female wrestler, personality, manager, call her what you want, CJ Perry, formerly known as Lana in WWE, has confirmed with an interview with USA Today that she is no longer employed by AEW and that she is now a free agent, as she said to USA Today that her time with them had just finished and she was last seen on AEW programming during November 2023. So we last seen her on AEW, 8-9 months ago, but she claims that she's just been released now. So again, what did she accomplish there? What did she do there? It was an absolute embarrassing run. Simply went to AEW to get a paycheck. It looks like AEW just might have been the downfall. That might have been the final nail in the coffin of her marriage with Rusev. But she's leaving AEW and it looks like she wants to be back with WWE, claiming that it's in her heart and soul. So she also spoke about her role as a manager, and this is what she told USA Today. Quote, "I'm really focused on finding talent and cultivating them and helping them become the best wrestler champion possible. I guess you could say I want to be the Paul Heyman." End of quote. Now, it's embarrassing to actually think of Lana and Paul Heyman as in the same sentence. The fact that she's comparing herself, saying she wants to be Paul Heyman, that is a stretch. She will never be Paul Heyman. She might be a decent female manager. And in fact, I would go as far as saying she used to be a good female manager when she first came into the scene with Rusev and she was doing the Russian accent. She was the translator, I guess, the Russian manager for the Bulgarian Brute. That was good. She had a good role in the WWE and she had a really good run as Rusev's manager. And she was, to be honest, pretty over at that point. She was one of the better acts. I mean, a lot of people really liked Lana back then, but she complained, she cried, and she wanted more. She wanted to be a professional wrestler. She wanted to get in the ring. Being a manager wasn't good enough for her, and then she got her run as a wrestler, and it absolutely sucked. She had one of the cringiest theme songs that I've ever heard. She came out, she didn't have a great attire, didn't really have a great look, unlike when she was the manager for Rusev, where she looked the part. And her run as a female in-ring competitor absolutely sucked. It was horrible. Then she gets released by WWE, goes to AEW, does absolutely nothing there, and now she wants to go back to WWE. She claims that WWE is the greatest franchise in the world, and she wants to be a manager again. She wants to be the next Paul Heyman. See, she should have been grateful for what she originally had. Not everybody needs to be a wrestler. You can get in the wrestling business, and sometimes you're going to make more money as a manager than you are a wrestler. But it's 2024. It's this new era that we're in. Everyone believes they can be a wrestler. Everyone believes they can do this. They see the average Joe. They see everybody else in the ring, and they just think, I can do that. If he can make it, I can make it. If this average-looking chick can do it, I can do it. And it just sets a false example, I think, for everybody. Lana could have just had a run as a manager, and her career would have been way, way better. But she stopped being a manager. She's damaged her career. It's been almost, It's been almost 10 years, I believe, since she was Rusev's manager. So I think the damage is already done. She's going to be, approaching 40 now. Does anybody really care for Lana to come back and be this managerial talent? I don't think so. But she did say that WWE is in her heart and soul, that it is the greatest franchise in the world. She said that AEW is much more sports driven, but it's been great to see many people get jobs there. So not completely burying AEW, but basically saying that AEW isn't really her particular style and that she prefers the WWE. She then went on to praise women and those in the LGBT community because I guess you need to virtue signal. What is it with everyone having to praise women? Why are we still pretending like women are some sort of like second class citizens in wrestling? Women get more time than they should. Let's be honest, women's wrestling's not great. Yet they get pushed down our throat in WWE. NXT, the women get way more time than the men. In the main roster, a lot of the women, let's be honest, they fucking suck. They don't deserve to be on Raw or SmackDown. Yet they do, because WWE's trying to push equality. Now there's talk of bringing out female US titles and intercontinental titles. I mean, that will just make the show, that will make the product even worse. Nobody wants that. But this is what CJ Perry had to say about women. She says, quote, "Women need to be represented, and yes, we are different than men, but we bring value. We can sell tickets. I mean, look at Liv Morgan right now. It shows you that we need everything. We need the competitors, we need the badasses, we need the love stories, and there's a spot for everyone." End of quote. She also went on to praise Liv Morgan for being the perfect role for the storyline with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. But she just says there that we need, again, kind of contradicting herself. She says that they're different from men and they bring value. Well, first of all, Evolution sucked, okay? That pay-per-view didn't draw any money. That pay-per-view was a failure. But she claims that they need everything. They need competitors, they need badasses, and they need people for the love stories. There's a spot for everyone. Her spot was being a manager, and it wasn't good enough for her. She had a great spot. Back when she was managing Rusev, she must have been one of the most popular women, or at least one of the most important women in the company, and she gave it all up. So, I mean, that's up to Lana, that's up to CJ Perry. I mean, personally, I don't really have any interest in seeing CJ Perry back in WWE. Her run as Rusev's manager was good, but that is over with. That's done. That's finished. That was a long time ago. That was a decade ago. I just don't think we need to see her come back and, you know, go back to something that she's already done. You know, why go backwards? Can she be a manager in WWE? I mean, possibly, but do WWE really need her? Is it the right move? I don't think so. We'll see what happens. Rusev, what's he doing in AEW? Is he even still employed? Is he even still in AEW? I couldn't even tell you. Like, there's so many people that are probably still under contract in AEW that we haven't seen in like 10 years. I mean, we just don't know what's happening in that company. It's an absolute mess. But here, it gives you a paycheck, and that's why everyone goes. So, yeah, CJ Perry, guys, no longer employed by AEW. Looks like she wants a job back in WWE. I don't really care for CJ Perry back in WWE. But we'll see. As a manager, maybe. As an in-ring competitor, absolutely not. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on CJ Perry. Do you want to see Perry back in wrestling, or have you had enough of CJ? Let us know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.